What's up, y'all? What's up?
What up with it? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Man, trying to get this my son together.
Glad you got a black cat.
Yeah. But his mama, shit. That be the problem.
I got on some shirts you made.
Yeah, I see.
You can see me?
Yeah, let me go put my shirt on. I'm gonna be out of pocket on this one. I'll be in the background doing whatever though.
Yeah.
I gotta deal with a lot. So.
Yeah, definitely. OSC got a whole system there.
No. But I'm gonna upload them quotes from Fanon if y'all wanna use it. You said what?
You do quote in the drive.
It's in the drive? I go grab all that. Anything else? Anything else, just silence your phone and text me in the group chat. Then I'll go.
I bet. Let it go. Let it go.
What if we had the power to bring every black leader throughout history together in this day and age? What could we accomplish? What if we brought the radical mobilizing of Dr. King together with the unapologetically black organizing of Malcolm X? What if we used the political ideas of Fannie Lou Hamer and put it with the successes of Julius Nyerere, Patrice Lumumba, and Maurice Bishop? What if we created an entirely new economic system based on the philosophies of Dr. Claude Anderson, Muammar Gaddafi, and Thomas Sankara? How many black Wall Streets do you think would exist today? And what if we created an organization in the transformational ways that Ella Baker did, or even a movement like Winnie Mandela did to end apartheid? How strong of a people would we be if a movement or an organization like that existed today? Now, what if I told you that we've already started?
What up? Hold on.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, man?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Peace. Look, we didn't get a countdown today or nothing.
Look, I'm all over the place.
Oh my goodness. Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Today one of them days.
Don't worry, everybody. We put our things away.
Put our things away. My bad. I ain't even give it. I don't even know if I still even had the countdown. I've been making all this stuff and grabbing them, trying to get our own special one. But anyway, without further ado, welcome to Black Revolutionary Education.
Go ahead, flex your shirt real quick. Flex your shirt.
Oh, it sounds like yesterday. I promise you.
Oh yeah.
You say what?
I said, I hear the children over there. I said, that sounds like us yesterday.
Yeah, because the other day you had the baby in the hand.
Right. She was just having a day. So we
She
get
was
it.
having a day too.
Woo, woo. But yes, it's always good to see y'all. See everybody. Welcome to Political / Revolutionary Education with the International Black Freedom Alliance.
Education.
Right.
Hey.
But first things first, check-ins. My favorite part of the show. My favorite part of this is check-ins and see where everybody at. So I guess I'll start. This week has been really, really dope in Birmingham. I don't know if y'all seen the pictures and all that, but it's just been a African culture-filled weekend, period. Saturday, like I said, we were able to go to the garden and have honor one of the elders and have him read stories to the children, griot style, and it was dope. So Sunday we did the West African dance class and the master drumming, so that was awesome. Very grateful for that. And also school again is going well. The children are doing awesome. We have a new location that we're teaching from, which is the local library here in Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah, they offered us their space because they just had a meeting a couple days ago, I guess the school board, and they're closing a lot of the libraries and, of course, the inner city neighborhood. So they already closed 2. So we hoping we can save this one, you know what I'm saying, with our school and everything. So the children have definitely brought life back to the library and the librarians. So it's been good. So we're very grateful for that. So this week has been awesome.
Likewise, you know, definitely this week has been busy as usual. Relates to a lot of different entities. So we're doing work at the cultural center. We're putting in work for our book club or our study group that we do with Mad Liberation Education, and we always putting in work here for the IBFA. So again, we busy. You know, glad to be here though. Glad to be in this fellowship with y'all. You know, and you know, glad to come break some stuff down for everybody. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
How about y'all? How y'all brothers feeling this week?
Like I said, I'm busy. I'm super busy. Had a very robust debate conversation at the Juneteenth meeting around what does Black unity look like in practice. Trying to make sure that everybody can be on the same page, making understand that we understand it's already so much disunity, so many reasons to not trust, so many hurt feelings, so many trauma bonds out here, and we trying to organize the largest Juneteenth celebration in the country. I'm gonna say it like that. And so, just trying to get different kinds of Black people understanding that everybody don't know what the red, white, and blue mean, and some people don't know about red, black, and green. Some people don't understand the racist history of the arch and different symbols. Some people just don't get it, don't understand it. And so, you know, it's just a teaching process. And then, like you said, you know, homeschool is something. The kids being here, you ain't no slacking. You know how you be mad at the teacher? Well, y'all ain't in there teaching nothing. Well, you the teacher. Now it's you. Now you ain't in there. Now it's you. So now what you talking about? So, yeah, I'm gonna try my bestest to make sure I stay on my task. Make sure I got my curriculum, my lesson plan, where I want to go together. Because today been a hell of a day. Yeah, man. So that's how we function and how we moving.
You look like a teacher now.
I look like a teacher. I look frazzled. I ain't had no look. I had a tank top on. I was done. I was throwing food. I'm throwing chicken tenders in the oven. I'm like, I don't care what nobody eat. I don't care what I eat. I just
We understand.
We get it.
Man, the life of a it's the life of a dad or a mom, man. It can be interesting, it can be fun, always taxing, but but if you don't know behind the scenes, us parents who are involved, we go through a lot. And I mean, just getting to the store to go shopping with the children and getting home, we go through a lot. So man, shout out to all the parents out there that's really, and if your child is at home with you during homeschool, that's an extra 6 hours that you have with your child each day. So really shout out to those people who spend that much time with their children and are still of sane mind at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah.
That's something. That's something different, man. That's something that's not easy. So I know y'all looking for more families. Congratulations on the library. We at the IBFA, like we say, we are alliance. So yeah, y'all members, but y'all also do y'all own individual thing. Y'all part of the Republic of New Africa, which we are pushing for all our members in the North America to join that. Because anything that's good for the community and good for our people is good and should be pushed. It ain't even about no agenda. It's just how we get free. So can't wait to see what we need at the community center. Let's do a big book drive and push a whole bunch of black books up in there and clean out. I don't want to see no Shakespeare and none of that. When I get down, they need to be talking about Langston Hughes and Andre Lloyd, not no Edgar Allan Poe.
I say.
I can't even get Edgar Allan Poe out of my mind. I still know his poems from that was beating
right.
to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am my Annabelle Lee. I'm all, so
Quote the Raven.
Quote the Raven. You gotta decolonize, family.
Luckily, I don't know what y'all talking about. I feel good. In my head,
you don't even know. You that
views.
black.
I've known Rivers.
I've
known Rivers. Because I skipped class, though. That's why.
Okay, well, salute to you.
Right.
I'm mad as hell, but
Really?
I can't get it out of my mind.
Look, we done talked all over Hood Scholar. What you doing, Hood Scholar?
Check in, bro.
Dr. Hood.
Dr. Hood, where you go? See, he didn't dropped off. He had the babies. Remember, he was in the car. So
We
pop in when you want to.
We get it.
He gonna pop me
in. Shout out to Dr.
He missed the pop in. He gonna
pop in. Mr. Pop in.
And we gotta stop and let him in too.
Nah, but that's a big thing though. Just even in this space, man. 3 days. Here we go.
There you go, Dr. Hood.
Got Easy E on his
lap.
What's
up?
You don't even want to get in the camera. He
just wants you to check in. Just wants you to check in real quick for this week. How you feeling? How's everything going?
Oh man, it's miserable.
I
finally figured out what was going on. Remember those weeks I was just tired, yeah. So come to find out, the X-rays. I eventually went in and got X-rays. And I'm giving y'all the short version, but I have muscular contraction, tension headaches, which basically means I just have a constant migraine headache nonstop. Yeah. So just imagine having a headache nonstop for a month and a half. So that's why I don't know if y'all told. Remember I told you, I was like, I'm struggling. I can't make it. And yeah, so that's what's been going on. But I think y'all saw that. I posted it today. I wish y'all really knew how much I really love Black people. And the reason why I posted that was because despite that, the consistent basically pain and throbbing and messing with my cognitive abilities, I'm still doing what I can do for us to get free.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did I skip? Or did y'all hear me?
Yeah,
no, we hear you.
Y'all heard me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, both things happened, but we heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It skipped, but y'all still heard me.
Yeah.
We still gonna get free. Yeah, so that's why I was just like, so for my check-in, I'm just like, I'm struggling, but I'm still pushing on. I'm just thinking about our ancestors, right? And our ancestors who who worked quote unquote for sun up to sundown. And then when sundown, they went in and took care of their families, right? Or for those plotting on freedom, right? They worked from sun up to sundown, picking cotton, slaving, whatever it was. But when they got that moment,
right,
they started conniving and planning and scheming.
Right.
And guess what some of our ancestors did? They got free. So that's what I'm on, y'all. I'm struggling, but I'm struggling towards freedom.
I like that.
Right? That's why I'm at. Struggling towards freedom.
Like a young Edgar Allan Poe. That was poetic.
You so okay. We are the IBA. We petty over here.
The international.
Look, y'all, I'm
Freedom
posting
Alliance.
these shirts IBF made. Look at this one. Tori, hold up your joint too.
You got to decolonize.
Man,
yeah.
Oh,
why y'all didn't tell us y'all was wearing shirts, man?
Colonize.
Right, we should have broke
Y'all
out.
had some last week.
It's all right.
Right.
I'm rocking little Bobby Hutton today, so it's all see. Yes. Shout out. He's rocking a Thug Motivation 101 black tee. That early 2000s.
Okay. That's a classic.
Everybody's represented here.
Everybody got black tee on.
Everybody got black tee.
Black.
Black tee.
Black
tee. That's gonna be the new thing, right?
It's always good to hear everybody is doing the best of their abilities, because that's all we can do, y'all. So
that's all we can do.
Yeah, Shay. Let's get business. We're not gonna be here long. Everybody and
stressed out. Look at us.
All that good stuff.
We look a mess. No, I'm just kidding. Let me stop.
I sure hate colonialism.
Right. It's stressful not to even read this stuff. To
this
even
is
study.
what colonialism do to you, yo.
Right. Yep.
This is your mind on colonialism.
Okay. And scene. Let's bring it back, y'all. All right. Okay.
Right. Then we're gonna have 20 running jokes through the whole thing. I already see it. Right.
Peace, Auntie. We still over there laughing, girl.
Oh man, that's so funny. So
okay,
yeah, definitely gonna get those shirts out and get some. So
yeah,
fundraising for the revolution.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we could get right into it. Appreciate I do want you, Dr. Hood, to set the tone.
Yeah.
Just give us an introduction. What we talking about? What we talking about this month? What we talking about?
Yeah. So this month, right? The guiding question, which we actually talked about last week, but we didn't present it yet. But the overall question is this: are Black people free? Let me ask you all this question again, and this is for those watching this, because all of us on this video, we've been talking about this. But let me ask you this question: are Black people free? So in my overall vision for the IBFA, right, we basically have three stratosphere, not three stratosphere. Let me use a different word. Three different groups that we want to speak to. And today, and this month, in October, we focusing on the masses. And for the masses, our goal is to decolonize the minds, right? And we look at from so shout out to y'all African Center School, because in most schools, every day in the morning, what's the first thing they do?
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. They starting that colonization process early, and they drilling it into our kids every day. And they trying to get us to think that America is the best country ever in this world ever, right? So we trying to get, we want to talk to the masses and let them see that, look, there are everyday practices. There are things in place that has been colonizing your mind. And this might not you might not feel good hearing this, but white supremacy and colonization has been secretly trying to slip into your mind, right? Talking about this month, we want to give you the tools and the ability to check out and decipher, and what old folks say, discernment, right? Have that discernment to be able to figure out, oh, that's colonization right there. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to colonize my mind. So we want to talk about decolonizing your mind, getting all that white stuff, all that stuff that's been using, get you the thing, for example, damn it, ever, that whiteness is the best. That white is right, black is evil, right? All that stuff. So that's what we're talking about broadly for this month. We want to change your thinking. We want to change, and then if you can control a man thinking, you can control his actions. Shout out to Carter G. Woodson, right? So from that, this week we talking about colonization. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go have a more in-depth look at how it's used, and thinking about ways we can attack, we can address this. Now let me say this, right? Colonization is tricky, right? It's tricky because the question I always ask people when I talk about this is, how do you know that you don't know? So think about it, think about it that way. How do you know when you don't know? Because you think you know. So that's the question for you to think about. How do you know you don't know? And when you decolonize your mind, you start to realize, oh, I actually didn't even realize that, right? So another thing to think about is, and y'all, I apologize. My the stuff I've been dealing with actually affects my cognitive ability. So hopefully I'm communicating this clearly. There's one more point I wanted to make sure I can make, but my brain isn't working as well. But oh yeah. We're not going to dumb it down. I talked to the team about this before we started this presentation, but I know a lot of conversation in hip hop is about dumbing it down, right? And the reason why you dumb it down is so you can make it more acceptable to the masses. Well, what we're going to do with our Black revolutionary education is we're not going to dumb it down, but we are going to make it plain, right? So we're going to use words like colonization and colonialism, right? But like you can tell from as we do every week, we still hood women, right? We still just regular old people. So we're going to take colonization and these big fancy words, and we're going to make it plain, right? So yeah, that's what it is, y'all. That's what we're talking about this month. We want to decolonize your mind. We want white people to know that we want black people to know. We want the masses to know that, like, black is beautiful, black is dope. Black is skilled. Black is talented. And look at Z. Look at Z right.
The perfect example.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
See the only example we got right now.
Y'all are so silly. Anyway, y'all are crazy. You breathe a smile. There you go. Don't hide it. Okay, there it is.
Nah, so there you have it. That's the tone. That's where we coming from. That's what we're talking about. I don't have an agenda or nothing like that, but we just gonna talk about it.
Because we don't want to commit genocide either, y'all. Okay, we want to just right. We're just gonna flow with it.
So yeah,
that is funny. Agenda side.
You kill yourself.
You know what? I don't know if we can show y'all the videos, but man, we can show them clips from X. I don't know how Tory, because that's the thing, y'all. This is, look, y'all, we're gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, we still organizing. Tory and I have been on calls. As you know, Bo and Z still doing the African Center education. So we doing this education in addition to everything that's going on. So we grinding. So I don't know if Tory can cue up the video, but if he can cue up the video clip from Malcolm X when he talks about second-class citizen, and about it's 2 clips from Malcolm X. Let's see if Tori can cue those up.
Can.
Okay, you so silly.
Oh, yes, he can.
He's trying to get Tori out the back.
Nah, he gonna stay back there. Just cue it up. Get it ready. Yes, he can.
Okay, let me hit him in the chat, y'all.
Yeah. So into the background too. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can run these clips, then we'll get into it. So we run these 2 clips, and then it's also it's a quote I think by Huey P. Newton I want to run, and then we're just gonna talk about it because decolonizing ourselves, decolonizing our mind, our situation is not easy. It's gonna take some time. You know, it didn't take no time to. It didn't take a day. It took us a long time to get to this point. Is what I'm trying to say. You know, over 400 years to get to this point of us being at our worst as far as a colonized people here in America, right? And I can confidently say,
what, Bo?
Colonized people.
You know what, Bo? Maybe we should give him a snippet because I'm gonna interview Bo another time. We're gonna have a fuller interview. How did you realize basically how did you come to consciousness or realization of this whole colonization?
You're so silly.
You don't got to give us the whole clip, but just give us like 2 or 3.
No. So the way most of us come to, most of us Black people who live in poverty come to consciousness is being beat up by the system, right? So I knew what it looked like to be in poverty, to be homeless as a child. I knew what it looked like to be incarcerated as a child, as a youth. You know, I knew what it looked like to be separated from my family. So once I heard a little bit of the truth, or once I heard, once I was in some spaces where I could make a difference, it was inevitable. It was inevitable for me to try to make that change for the next person, for my people, to try to prevent these same. And I realized during all this time that these were structures that were against me and against my folks, right? You have the prison industrial complex, you got the pharmaceutical industrial complex, the military industrial complex, and all these complexes were against me, my people. And that's when I realized it's a war. What can I do? And that's when I realized that we ain't free, right? If they control what you eat and controlling your medicine, we're talking about it, controlling your education, we ain't free. We couldn't possibly be free if they controlled that, and we don't have no alternative control. So once I realized that, it was inevitable for me to fight for my folks. Now getting to this point to where I'm at, where I'm a free thinker, and I call myself a revolutionary or revolutionist, or I'm trying, is a whole nother story, because we had to go through a whole bunch of different avenues to get to this point. But that's a snippet, Dr. Hood. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. Yeah, that's a real good snippet. And that's the thing. Like, and for those who don't know my story, like, I think hearing these stories help people to realize that people don't think that this can happen in America, right? So for me, we had got so bad that, like, the lowest point, we were fortunate that we never got in the street, but we were basically like squatting in someone's house. Yeah. That they was trying to sell. And again, so we living in a house. So the fortunate part was we had utilities. The fortunate part was we had a roof over our head, but we didn't have utilities, right? So it's I know for some people like me and you, like y'all hearing this, like, oh yeah, that's cool. But for like a lot of people, it's hard for people to think about people in America living in that much poverty.
Oh yeah.
And guess what demographic lives the highest? Black people. Oh, could y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You said the biggest demographic of people in poverty are Black people.
Yep.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. Even people here in America, it's hard to believe some of the things, some of the story. I remember I told one of my bros, man, my mama, we used to have to wash the clothes in the bathtub, and he looked at me. He was like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Don't everybody, you always, So again, it was like you know, and that was my bro. He was from California like me. He from the city, from San Diego. But he couldn't believe that I told him a story about us washing clothes in the bathtub.
Right.
You know, so again, that was, you know, and again, to a lot of the diaspora, that ain't nothing. Washing clothes in a bath. You got a bathtub to wash clothes in.
Your water is on.
So again,
your water is on, right?
Right.
Yeah, we got running water in the house. All that.
Yo, but we're not turned off. Oh my God.
Right. The struggle is real.
But I told him, I say, bro, if that makes you sick, I got some stories for you.
They can't handle it.
Feel me?
I promise.
I got some stories.
I promise you they can't. Well, thank y'all for sharing that, because I'm not telling y'all shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah.
No, thank y'all.
America.
I'm just kidding. But thank y'all. Yeah, we need these compatible stories, like you said. That's how you really know for real when that light bulb go off, when you talk to this person, man, woman, child, but we all didn't experience our utilities being off. You feel me? So it's like, it's a collective thing, unfortunately, but it helps you realize for real, it's a system out there that's set up for us to fail and to be in this position.
Yeah.
And so what does freedom look like, right?
So
what
again,
does freedom look like if we got the highest, the most people locked up, the most people doing time, the most people with a record, and the most people living poor?
Yep. In this very spacious,
like, and so like what this is telling me, right? So one thing it's telling me is like, oh, it's not happening to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So you good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you said, a lot of us don't know. You ask a person, "Are you free?" The first thing they're gonna say is yes.
Yeah.
Right. The reason they're gonna say they're free, because we have been indoctrinated to believe that we are Americans and America free. Right. They're not even thinking about the aspect of being an African in America. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about that. They're not thinking about, can they do what they want to do? Right. So if we were free, what does freedom look like? Right. If we were free, period, we would have alternative institutions at least. Right. We would at least have the determination to say, this is how I want to teach my children. This is how I want to raise my children. This is how I want to live within my communities. We don't want to build houses like that. We want to do this. So, but we don't even have we have to go by codes of your city. If you want to build a house, you know, you got to go by the codes of your city. We ain't free. You know what I'm saying? If you want to build a garden, if you want to grow some food, you gotta go get permits to become a farmer, to grow food, even in like community gardens. Once you start growing so much food, you got to go get permits and permissions and license and stuff like that.
Like we said, even going back to Africa, we need us black folk going back home. We need a damn passport to go back.
Can't travel,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going home, damn it. I don't need no passport. You feel me?
Yeah. So again, we're not free in any sense of the word. You
not
know,
at our jobs or nothing, like none of that. So we
even constitutionally, you know what I'm saying, when they can punish us for whatever law that they create. So that we know that they create bullshit laws, right? We know that they create laws that are unjust, unfair, laws that are targeted against us, right? And if we don't adhere to these laws, we can go to jail and become slaves. Period. You know what I'm saying? So we're not free. Period. You know, if we were free to any capacity, our folks have ran away from plantations, jumped off of boats and everything since day one. If we were even a little bit free, we would have big separation societies. We already would have some land to say is ours, because we don't want to be with y'all. And I'm not talking about like the islands that, you know, like the Gullah Geechee Islands or that, like things that you guys say is like sovereign. We're talking about like real land for our folks.
Yeah.
Our folks don't want to live like this. Our folks don't want to live under this capitalistic system. And for our folks who do want to live under this system, if they were free, they can just live under the system.
Right.
Because you're free. But there's a big percentage of our people who never desired to live under this system.
Right. We never had the option to get out of it.
Never had the option to get out. Never had the option to go back. Right. Even like Z said, even to go back home, right? It's gonna cost us money. We're gonna take shots. We gotta get a passport. I can't even say, you know what, y'all took me from that mud and send me back. And and y'all could I could revoke my citizenship here.
Right.
Don't send me back. They don't even have that movement for us to be able to do that. Don't pay me a little reparation check and let me get on. You know, get my little reparation check and drop me off in a country. Let me go to a country of my choice. Drop my never. No,
they don't want us to go. They don't want us here. They
need us. Like I said, they built their society off of our blood, and that's one of the things that we're talking about too. So we're talking about colonization. The colonizing of our minds, our bodies, our time, spirits, our labor, our spirit. Right. It's not just the mind; it's everything. They've colonized us. They've ingrained their values into us, their sense of justice into us, their sense of family into us. Right. So that's what colonization is. I don't know if you want to read the.
Yes, I do.
The Webster definition of it, and then we'll get deeper into it.
Yes, this is the Lil Webby definition. No, I'm just kidding. It's the Webster definition, y'all. All right, of colonization as a noun. So colonization, the action or process of settling among and establishing control over the indigenous people of an area. So I'm gonna read that again. The definition of colonization: the action or process of settling among and establishing control over the indigenous people of an area. All right.
Right. So colonization, this is when these folks, these colonizing countries,
immigrants,
these immigrants, hey, they come in and they interject themselves into indigenous populations, such as Africa. There's so many examples, everywhere. That's what they do. And when they insert themselves into these populations, they insert their religion, their rule, their laws, their culture, all it is. And not only insert that, but they strip the indigenous people's way away from them, tell them it's wrong, turn them into Christians or Muslims or whatever missionaries that they send in to do the work. Us here in us, the history of America, and that's one type of colonization, right? When they go in by force. And that's simply probably most likely they're not going to colonize an area that they don't see
where they can take over,
where they can have some profit, right? It's a lot of times it's economically, economics is the reason why. So they go in, they extract resources, so on and so forth, extract human labor, so on and so forth. This country that we're here in right now started off as the 13 colonies, right? And that was a different type of colonization where these Europeans and other countries sent people over here to create a colony. So they sent people over here to create a colony, and almost by any means necessary. And most of us by this point, we should know the history of what happened when those settlers, those colonial settlers came in. It was genocide. They killed the people, they killed the warriors. So they enslaved them. Right, they even tried to enslave their own people. They even tried to send the Les Miserables over here, and they tried it. It didn't work, right? And that's where we had the system of importing, right? So this is so I just want to pause there if you want to add anything to the 13 colonies part. And they had a whole
So think about this, right? So first, we are very clear things. Pledges of allegiance, right? They do that. They indoctrinate all our children that. Next, they are still teaching the 13 colonies in school systems.
Yeah.
So think about this, right? Now, this is why y'all school is so dope, but what are our kids learning about the 13 colonies? Oh, England, what are our kids learning about the 13 colonies? Oh, England is flourishing, manifest destiny. They have these relationships with indigenous people. They build, they grow, and start off as 13 colonies, and then it becomes the United States. Right? It's all flowery. But so literally, listen to this, they're making colonization as something that's productive.
Right.
And beneficial. Think about how dangerous that is. Indoctrinate and ingrain children to think of colonization as something good.
Right.
When in reality, it involved making people property, right? So we, our ancestors, became their property. Like you said, genocide. They literally wiped out tribes of indigenous people and then enslaved millions of people, and then had one of the worst forms of slavery in history, because never before in history has there been an enslavement where people were taken across a body of water. Think about that, right? Can you tell me any other slavery in history where someone was literally moved, nations of people were moved from on ships across oceans, across a whole entire ocean into a whole nother continent? Never before, right? Because think about it, all the slavery in the past, right? It was this ruler dominated this ruler, and then they enslaved those people on that land, right? That's how slavery had functioned for years and years and years. So what happens with the transatlantic slave trade in the 15th, 16th century, they literally changed oppression. They literally changed the world of slavery and oppression. So you take something that's as horrendous, as genocidal, as 20 million people being wiped out because of this slavery, and say, oh no, colonization was something good. Y'all see how I broke that down?
Yeah.
So this is how something that's so dangerous can seep in, be used, be taught to all of our children. People have no problem with it, and deceptive of the very thing that's killing them.
Right.
And that's colonization, right? And that's why what y'all said was so key, because colonization is rulership and is dictatorship, but it's on every area of our lives, right? They literally want to colonize everything. Yeah. Like y'all heard the saying, from the rooter to the tutor.
Pun intended.
Right.
They making laws and about.
But they literally want to cause body, soul, spirit.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, they have.
Yeah.
You know, and they have, and that's what. So again, we are an imported body. We are a different type of colonization, but we are colonized people here in America under this rule, under white domination, under this rule, right? So in the process of colonization, like we already hinted at, is that you have to ingrain the dominant culture into those people, right? So one of the first things that they did was create schools to indoctrinate the indigenous populations, build churches to indoctrinate the indigenous populations.
Missionaries.
Right? They put the provocateurs, what they call them, but the provocateurs on high, cut they hair off, made them dress English. European and speak English, right? So they took what they stripped them of their culture, their spiritual aspects. They stripped them of these things and implanted them into them, right? So that's what we're dealing with right now, and that's, I guess, what the root of this session is that shaking colonization, right? Our minds are now colonized where we think like them. Right, we took on their attributes. We act like them. We act like the dominant culture. Right, we go to church like them. We praise like them. We treat our women like they treat their women, or like they taught us to treat our women. Right. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about shaking those things off. Right, and the ways that we shake those things off are, first of all, fighting for our freedom. Period, by any means necessary, through all your means that you have. Right, and then building or joining institutions that are trying to take the yokes off of our people's minds, take the yokes off of our people's spirits, take the yokes off of our people's diets, right? So again, and we have to know that as a colonized people, they mean to control us, right? So they have councils where they sit down, they have meetings where they sit down and say, how are we going to control the masses? How are we going to control Black people? How are we going to stifle them from having that revolutionary spirit, that fighting spirit, that warrior spirit that when we first encountered them, they had? Right. So this 400 years plus, right, it has been a system of colonizing our minds, colonizing our bodies and spirits, and that's what we trying to get off. But it's been 400 years, right? So now we deal with things like beauty standards, right? And where we succumb to the European beauty standards, and that's where we leave our conversation of colonization at, or when a colonizer offend us in their media and you know, equate us to a monkey or something like that, we like, oh no, we got to get from up under the colonizer. We need our own media, so on and so forth. But that's just a little small fraction of it,
and that's
right. It's these are control mechanisms, right? So again, how do we shake the colonizer off of us? And you know, we could talk about, I'm gonna yield in a second, like I'm talking a lot. And when we shake these things off of us that they've implanted into us, what are we gonna fill that void with, right? And Dr. Amos Wilson talks about, you know, the Africanization, right? We're gonna get rid of the colonization and we're gonna put some Africanization in there. You know, he and he talks about, you know, don't standardize, Africanize, right? So again, we have to implant something into that void, right? So when we take the white spirituality away from our people, what do we have to fill that void? It doesn't have to be replaced with spirituality or religion, but what do we have to fill that void? Do we got some work? Do we got some stuff that make them feel valuable, worthy in the community, right? Because that's what religion and spirituality does. You know, when we strip away the dominant society, the white man's education and titles and entitlement that they give to our people away from people, what are we going to have to supplement that? Are we going to have education institutions that teach us how we need to be taught, that how we've historically been taught, that teach us to build the systems that will free us and keep us free?
Right. Are we going to do the same thing just with black faces?
Or are we just going to keep that same institution, put a black face on it, call it a black name, and put the black curriculum on there, right? So these are the things that we're talking about, you know. But I'm gonna yield.
Yeah, let me jump in right here because I want to piggyback on what y'all said, on what you all saying, but also answer Ohima's question. So for those who are not on Facebook, Ohima asks, and this is in reference to what was going on, what's being taught with colonization in the schools. It makes you wonder if you should even tell a child this story or not. Seriously, I'm trying to read in her voice too. If you have a child that has never been in a school system, do you tell them this? Yes or no, and why? So I want to hear y'all response for what y'all do for Africa Center School. But for me, I think this shows how part of becoming aware of the colonization process, a part of becoming aware of being colonized, is also part of how you overcome being colonized. So I'm saying that to say that people want to jump to, okay, what's the solution? What's the solution? What's the solution? Yes, we do need to get to the solution, but the solution is awareness, right? And so this goes back to the question I'll open with. How do you know when you don't know?
Yeah.
Right.
And then, so if you have that awareness, right, that then you can so let me say it a different way. Decolonization is something that you continue to do and continue to do and continue to do. And you just got it all figured out, and that's kind of scary, right? That's like, oh no, my mind has been completely decolonized. I'm perfect, and I'm like, I have ascended to the second level of like, nah, like pause, bro, pump your brakes, right? But then on another level, right? For me, what I do with my kids, we be talking about everything. I hope they probably get tired of it. But every TV show they watch, every book they read, like for example, when we talk about when they watch the movie Pocahontas, I'm like, all right, let's really talk about what happened with Pocahontas, right? So and like, oh no, I don't like that. So that's one way I do, because I recognize, all right, they're trying to infiltrate our children's minds with these cartoons, with these TV shows, right? So let's talk about that. And when we talk about that, that's when I can also talk about, I don't say this is what colonization is, but I say, hey, this is actually what happened during that time period, so they can know the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
And we agree.
So how would y'all answer that question, African Center perspective?
So to answer that question, pieces. That's my sister, y'all. But anyway, as far as if you've never had a child in the public school system, because ours probably went for the max 2 years, and that was at the early like pre-K, kindergarten, that part of their life. But they have to know, because this is part of the history. You know what I'm saying? This is part of our history of being here and where we got taken from. It's like something you have to know. And I always say, even with our homeschool, like, this is why we teach y'all like this, because ancestors forbid you have to go back to public school. I want you to be able to tear them up when they start talking about Christopher Columbus and how he discovered. I want you to be able to hand it to them. I don't care if you're in the first grade, second grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be prepared for this war that we were not prepared for when we was their age. We let them talk all over us, around us, about our people, and we had no idea what the hell they was talking about. They was disrespecting us in our damn face, and we didn't even know, because we weren't aware of what was going on. So I definitely say teach your child, especially our black babies. They have to know this stuff, just like, so they don't have to unlearn. That's what we doing right now. We unlearning and then relearning. Let's just let them learn from the beginning. So that's how I answer that question.
And just to add to that, there's a time for everything, right? So if we're talking about, if we're talking to a fragile, spirited youth, right, and we know that they can't handle some information like the tragedy of the transatlantic slave trade, we're not going to give that to that youth. At the same time, if we have a little man that's 4 or 5 years old, and we've had, we've had situations where a little sister came up to us. I don't know where she got I knew her mama was conscious,
yeah,
or her dad was a conscious being when she came to us. She was like, Brother Bo, did you know that white folks used to do bad stuff to black people? And I looked at her and I was like, girl, let me tell you. And I say, man, go tell Z that. And she went to tell Z, and she turned around, and we, that's when we talk about it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
but
we were in the garden. I was like, hold on, vegetables.
Right.
She just said something very profound, y'all. We gonna switch the conversation right over here.
So it's a way to do it. So we're not gonna, because what they do in school, even in higher learning, they kind of start our history at slavery, right? Yeah. So they start our history at slavery, and that's what we can't and refuse to do, right? So our history predates history, right? Our history predates history by thousands of years. Before any first writings or whatever, we got history, we got culture there. You know what I'm saying?
Like we said today, Timbuktu is inside of all of us.
Right. So we're gonna give it.
We didn't start here in slavery.
Oh no, by no means. Right. So we're gonna give it to you raw. So again, Z, speaking of the garden, one way that Z specifically used to talk to the children, the children, we used to be out there in the fields in the middle of the summer in August, planting I'm thinking about tomatoes and cucumbers and watermelons, peppers, everything. And the children used to complain. They were, oh, it's hot. And we said, oh, let's talk about the ancestors and how they was hot out here and they was doing this, right? And the children to be, they'll have some appreciation to say, man, my grandma used to talk about being gardening and doing this and doing that. So that's a way we can push it into them without it being harmful to their spirit. And then start to talk about, and then telling them the real. You tell them why this happened, right? You tell them it was for profit. These crackers needed money. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You give it to them real, and it's not. And yes, they may feel some type of way at first, like, damn, my people went through this, had to go through this. But you also have already fulfilled them with the information that they need to handle this, right? So they know about the kings and the queens and the greatness and the inventions and the healers and so they know about all this. So and we politicize it in a way that it needs to be politicized. It's the Ma'afa, right? This is the great disaster that happened in the time period of African history, and here we are today. We're still dealing with the residue of it, but our future generations won't. This will just be another time in history that they can say, my ancestors went through a hard time during that time, and we don't have to do that no more.
And we still here. Like I said, that's how resilient we are. You know what I'm saying? Through everything. So, I say. Hope that answered your question. Ohima. I hope I said it right, because she's gonna kill me, honey. But anyway, I know, right? I call her Santi.
Yes.
Yes, we have. So I don't know if we got that much longer to go. So I know Tori has a clip for us. Tori, you there, bro? But anywho, until they get back.
So yeah, just a matter of colonization. Our minds, our bodies, our spirits are colonized, and what do we fulfill that with when we get rid of this? You know, and we have to get back to our culture. We have to get back to our traditions. We have to get back to the ways of our ancestors, so we can function correctly. We've been functioning wrong for so long because we've had this disease in our body, which is colonialism, which is what they've implanted in us. So now it's time to get back to us. It's time to get back to our traditions, our ways of life, our medicines, our
natural healing, yes.
And we'll be whole. We'll start to become whole and fighting for freedom and be natural.
Holistic.
But we're gonna cue this video real quick and talk about it. So be ready when you're ready.
All right.
Of 22 million Afro-Americans here in this country, where we have suffered colonialism for the past 400 years. America is just as much a colonial power as England ever was. America is just as much a colonial power as France ever was. In fact, America is more so a colonial power than they, because she's a hypocritical colonial power behind it. What do you call second-class citizenship? Why, that's colonization. Second-class citizenship is nothing but 20th century slavery. How are you going to tell me you're a second-class citizen? They don't have second-class citizenship in any other government on this earth. They just have slaves and people who are free. Well, this country is a hypocrite. They try and make you think they set you free by calling you a second-class citizen. No, you're nothing but a 20th century slave.
I just appreciate Malcolm, man, for his just. He's also very truthful. Right.
But again, we ain't free to choose who we want to govern us. We're not free to choose how our government is set up. And again, we do in a lot of ways. We are still second-class citizens, right? In a lot of ways, we still don't have. We got sisters and brothers, fighting for voter rights still, right? And you still got the governors implementing laws that are discriminatory as it relates to voting right now in most of the states right now in 2021. So again, we're not free, and we even, like you said, we're not even true citizens of this republic here. So again, we're just a colonized people to be controlled, right? And they give us this false sense of freedom, and we have this misplaced allegiance to this.
I think the crazy thing about what he's saying is like some people are saying there's an in-between status for Black people, and they're almost as if we can reach ship status, right? Like it was possible for Black people to become full citizens. And what he's saying is that basically there is no in-between status. United America is the only place where someone can be considered a second-class citizen. He said around the world, literally everywhere else, you're either a slave or a citizen. There's no in-between. So he was like, basically, look, Black people, early in this, you've been hoodwinked, you've been had, you've been got, you've been bamboozled. Why do you think that we could actually have some level of basically humanity in this country? And so this is why shout out to X again, right? Because he said I don't want no civil rights. This ain't about civil. He was calling out civil rights way back then. I don't want civil rights. This is about human rights because black people aren't being treated as human.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. We shouldn't be talking about no damn civil rights because that's the only place we gonna keep it at. Because we're second class citizens. And in the other clip, you talked about the laws. Right. You only got to make. You don't got to make no new laws for citizens. The Constitution covered citizens.
Right.
If we just go by what's all stated in the Constitution, all men are created equally, we'll be just fine. You don't got to create no amendments and no laws and so on and so forth.
And that's what Kwame Ture was saying. I love when he said that. Like, these laws weren't written for black folks. Black people, we already know that we can ride the bus whenever we want to. We already know that we should be able to, you know what I'm saying, vote. We like, this is for y'all to be able to just follow these laws because y'all so inhumane. You know what I'm saying? The African way ain't to write no damn laws talking about treat your brother like your damn brother. We know that already. That's already innate in us. We don't need to write that down. We don't need to none of that because we're all going to hold each other accountable to that. So that's I'm glad you said that because that's true. Like I don't know, we're a different type of people and we move differently and we need to realize that and come back to our old ways of just living, period, on every aspect of the word. Like we definitely have to us because we can't use their ways to be African. We can't use European rituals and all this kind of mess and be African. We can't. It ain't gonna work.
And that's the thing, y'all. I think for me, this what kind of brings it all home. Like, we can't even be fully tried because that's just not who we are. Like, at the end of the day, like, we can try to do the red, white, and blue, and we can try to be patriotic, and we can try all that stuff. But like Du Bois said, our ancestor W.B. Du Bois said, I have these internal strivings between my Americanness and my Negro-ness. I can't be both.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, it's impossible.
You can only be a Negro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Well, that's all I can be. That's all.
Yeah, right. For real, we got to choose a side.
So again, if we choose freedom, we
freedom.
We want to choose to govern, build our own, and how does that look? We don't want to live under white supremacy. We never did. Our ancestors never did want to stay under a white supremacist society.
Well, white aggression.
Right. White aggression, dominant society. Right. We never wanted to stick around to be the house Negroes and the slaves of this society. So, and that's exactly what we are. Again, we could bring up statistics all day. We could show you many stats and graphs and charts to show you where black people sit as a. I ain't telling my little things. Where black people sit in the society, right? We can tell you health-wise, education-wise. We could show you our housing in our communities. We could show you where we're paying higher rates on loans. We could show you all that, right? Yeah. So again, are we free? And they control that. I can tell when we in the black community just by the things that they put into our communities to control us, including the restaurant, the McDonald's. Like, I know when we in a black community, you got the check cashing places,
Family Dollars,
you got the Family Dollars and the title loans, you got the, again, the $35 tire shops,
the pick 5 for $5.
So again, it's like we know because it's all this is by design to keep our minds, to keep us to keep us aligned in where they want us because we are colonized people.
So I got a question. For y'all, because I was backstage just listening and thinking this is for somebody, and I think somebody on Twitter, they hit me up in the DM. I guess they didn't want to comment. But they said, so how do you kind of help an adult, a grown person, to understand what colonialism does to them?
Well, I mean, just depends on what adult we're talking about. We can show examples, right? And we have those examples in the world right now. You know, we have the examples of how R. Kelly used his power and was abusing women across the board, abusing girls. You know, we have examples of people who build businesses and use the same oppressive practices that the colonizer uses. Man, but I just suggest y'all jump into these study groups. The only way to really know is to read and to study and to study history.
And with each other, yeah.
You know, I don't even waste my time with people who can't even fathom. I don't argue with folks no more about nothing, right? So again, if that person is not open to even seeing that they're in a colonized state, or they can't recognize that we're not free, it's not even worth giving them your conversation at the moment. They'll come back around unless you just got time for some fun.
And that's
right.
How that happens too. People do come back to you. You'd be surprised. People will come back to you like, okay, I see what you mean now. But I think, just real briefly, I think it's easier. Okay, it's easier to teach a child from just a pure stage, yes. Also, I think it's easier to teach an adult too, because we in the thick of it. Feel me? So we really understand I think we could relate better to it because we in the workforce. We didn't have to go to the hospital at one time or another, and all of these things have been colonized. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'd be maybe an easy thing to explain to an adult, but they have to be, like Bomani said, open-minded to receive information.
Ask the person how much money they owe for shit that they ain't even know. Right? You know, and again, just taking the hospital, you know, we talk about and laugh about the ambulance trip. How they charge you $100 for a neck brace. They charge you
$200 for the thing to go whoop whoop.
You got they charge. So again, and that's on your credit, this credit thing that they created for us. And that's against you. You know, how many times did you want to go learn somewhere else or take your children somewhere else to learn, and you couldn't because you were zoned in this area? Right. You know what I'm saying? So adults and things like that, you know, when we tell these adults that's about is that we're colonized people, they control us. And if they didn't, even if they would have said, look, here goes some land for y'all Negroes to do what y'all want to do over here. You know, we don't even have that where we got some reservations or anything. We don't even got no Negro reservations where we got our own laws and we sovereign over here or nothing like that. Right? Because they want to control us. We are under their control, period. Right? And that's why they have these stats and stuff that say, by the 3rd grade, if your child ain't reading, they this likely to go to prison, right? That's how they had these stats, because they control that and they create that.
They build the prisons for those stats as well. So but to answer that question, Tori, for real, like I said, I think it may be easy to explain it to an adult because we in the shit. You feel me? So
I like the examples. I like how you say give the examples, the real life examples. Sometimes I feel like when we get to the words and the definitions and the terms, it become too abstract, too theoretical. They don't understand it. They're like Negro, dude was debating on Twitter, and he was like, "We not colonized. Y'all using some white man term. I'm not colonized. I go to work here every day. I work in corporate America." And he was like, "Dude, the reason why you wearing a suit is because you colonized. They ain't even your clothes."
Right.
He was like, "What?" He was like, "Oh, now clothes is colonized." He was like, "Bro, you wasn't wearing it."
Yeah.
He's like, that's not your culture. That's not your clothes.
Yeah.
He was just stunned. You could see he was just stunned. He was like, "Well,
I got
some suits in Africa." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, but ain't that. If it was, it wasn't that you got on."
You know what's funny? When we were doing capoeira, in Brazil they speak Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it's all in Portuguese.
Yeah.
So you have some people that say, "Why are we doing this in Portuguese? That's a colonizer language. They want to sing it in English." We like English, and you talk. Okay, so that type of part.
You want the colonized that you know. You want
the other colonizer, right? The other white meat.
Right. And so what we got to tell brothers like that is the fact that you glorify going to work, right, is a part of the colonization mind right? We glorify spending time with family. You know, we glorify like, yeah, I want to spend some time with my family. You know what I'm saying? I got a Fortune 500 family that I work for. You know, so even glorifying that and trying to be big bank and so on and so forth, that's a part of colonization of us having no time to be with self or with family. You just work, money. Gotta live, gotta get more. That's a part of the colonization mind frame. You ain't got no time to chill.
And then you're attaching yourself. Like we tell people all the time, if they're working these stores, don't be trying to lose your life over nobody stealing nothing out this damn store. Shit, out of Family Dollar and all that. Like I said, well, we who? You and Family Dollar are not connected, okay? You have stocks.
Let them take everything up out of here. Matter of fact, you better tell them to take you some out and put it on the corner so you
can. I'm gonna be over there later, little JoJo. I'm gonna be over there later.
But that's the thing. You'll have them speaking as if they're one entity. You feel me? Like we have this and you ain't Walmart.
That's a part of the colonized mind.
We sick, boss. Exactly.
My boss, my company I work for, and yeah, they might pay you better than they pay everybody else, bro. But again, look at you. Are you doing what you want to do?
Right.
And essentially, nobody that's in the workforce is doing what they really want. It's a few people out there that's like, yeah, I'm really doing what I want to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? But most people know we didn't just had to do this because we don't have the freedom to choose stuff that we do. So we ain't got that freedom, or we don't even have the support to fuck off and say I want to go be an art major and I'm gonna go major in poetry and I'm finna go plant flowers at the university. Our parents gonna be like, nigga,
what the hell?
Nigga, you better not come back. You know, because we ain't got no time for that. Versus the other people, the dominant society. Y'all got the time and day built off the blood, sweat, and tears of my ancestors, and the richest to have your kids go off and do some buffoonery.
That reminds me of what's the movie with the kids? Dangerous Minds. And she said, "You teach." I saw that shit. They were bringing home poetry and shit. I'm like, okay, see, that was real though. You feel me? Because these are the things that poor people have to worry about. You feel like you said Shakespeare. Who the hell? We don't give a damn about none of that. Feel me? They need to get jobs. So they
stop playing me.
Even though they 16-year-old, they men. Yeah. At this point, you know, so it's just
that's part of the colonization.
It is. It's like a
lot. That's a key part of Sister Act.
Man,
remember Lauren Hill? She was like, her mom was like singing.
Right.
Yeah, in your room. That's about all the singing you gonna do.
That's all you gonna be doing. You're not doing none of that other stuff.
While you on the clock, you know.
So when people simply are, you know, and I get it, not adapt to these words that we use like colonization, imperialism. Right. Just ask them, nigga, is you free?
Right.
Are you free? And if they say they free, then 9 out of 10 you can't convince them otherwise in those moments that you got to. And if they say, nah, I don't think so, then whatever that's called right there, whatever you call it, that's what we working with, bro. We just say your mind is colonized. You know, these brothers over here might say you just a little bit lost. You a lost sheep. These brothers might say you a part of this, the 85% over here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, bro, like, it's against us. Same thing. Let's fight against it.
And if you are free, just for people who may hypothetically answer that question that way, it's like, are you freeing other people? Are you popping open the cells? Or are you holding people hostage too?
Right. Ooh. And what is you free to do? You know, you free to starve to death. You know what I'm saying? You free to not have adequate health care.
Right. You free to be at work and have to have this. You can't have no defense against your higher ups shit without you losing your job and you losing your money and your food. You can't
walk into no board meeting.
Right.
You know, you can't walk into no board meeting uninvited.
You ain't going to the company party, none of that. So just get that out your head. Yeah.
So again, we're not free, and until we and then again, even if we think we're free here in America, right? We're not free in the diaspora.
Right.
So again, we ain't free till we all free. So we not.
All right,
okay. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't free till y'all free. So again, it's even if we think we free over here,
right?
Our folks in Brazil, our folks in Venezuela, our folks in the Caribbean, our folks in Haiti, they ain't free, right? And we over here, right? So again, this is we can wrap it up in a second, but America is one of the greatest colonizers at the moment, right? They got the game and they done turned it into changed the game for real, right?
They got the bag and flipped it and
so
tumbled
they colonization is for real. is this imperialism where they extracting wealth and they extracting labor, they taking all
resources
this from
and shit.
People across the world. So us here as Black people, we have the responsibility to put a dagger into the belly of the beast, because that's where we live. We in the belly of the beast. We the one that could throw, what one boy said, we could throw the wrench into the machine and wreck it a little bit. We may not be able to destroy it by ourselves, but man, we could fight from within the belly of the beast. It's like we can't sit back over here and think we got it good, right? Because we don't, right? And even when we go other places, and Tori, you can attest to this, even when we go other places and they learn that you're American, they thinking you got it good.
Right.
And you like, nigga, I'm from Alabama, nigga. I'm from nigga shit, nigga. I'm living in conditions similar to this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, but they don't understand that because we too scared to even fight or too scared to even share our stories internationally because we want to be looked at like we the colonizers.
But it's been done over there too. You feel me? Like they said, if you would talk about that slave trade at any point, they were gonna kill your ass. You feel me? Like we ain't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So at one point they thought, it was only white people over here in America.
Some people,
yeah, shit. So it's like that's what colonization does.
I'll never forget, because even colonialism is also about like the institutions that they build and how they kind of go through the system. So I'll never forget, and I love telling this story because it's like, to me, it's like a realization. I'm in MST, we in the popular education school, and they teaching about just rebellions, just, the rebellions and the civil rights and stuff. So they got to America, and the professor in the MST, we were in the popular education school. This is a leftist radical professor teaching, and he was like, and slavery in Brazil went on for 30, 40 more years than it did in the US. Basically, the slaves here was treated in Brazil was treated worse than they were in the US, and it's more Black people here in the US. Well, after they got free, they got 40 acres and a mule and this and then. I was like, what? I was like, yo, chill. I was like, he's like, yeah, what's up? I said, I'm from America. We didn't get 40 acres and a mule. He was like, well, I went to America. I said, we didn't. You can go use your Googles or whatever you're going to do, but you going around. He's like, no, he said, man, I was told this about 20 years ago. So I'm like, this man is going around the country, possibly the world,
right,
teaching it, and he's still spreading colonized information.
Right.
So we got to be very careful and have a deep understanding. So for a lot of us, it's just like the Negroes online that say it ain't no slave boats. It's like, it's enough evidence out here, but you spreading this as if it's the gospel, and it's easily debunked in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
We got to be very cognizant of that. And I don't say the woke or the conscious of the community. We got to be very conscious to chop that down in public, so other people can't be fools like the fool that's spewing the colonization.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we do recognize that we deal with the residue of colonization. So we do, as men, we grew up in this misogynist, patriarchal society, and we still deal with those residues, but we trying to heal. Our sisters have grown up and our grandmothers have been in society where they have sexualized our women since day one, and we take on those attributes, and the sisters take on those attributes because, again, we're of the colonized mind frame. Again, we think we free, we think that this is just a natural. And then one thing about colonization too, they take your resources and stuff, and that's what they've done to us. Take our labor, they take our resource, they've commodified our music, they sell our music across the world, and we don't get no benefits of it as a whole. So again, man, we have to think in the terms that we ain't free, and how do we get free? And colonization just means one of the ways that they're keeping us in bondage, right? And until we know what it is, we can't fight against it. Period.
Okay.
But you know, there's more as it relates, man. We're trying to get free. We're not free, and it's not debatable.
Guess y'all got something. This is a heavy topic that y'all really did a good job of making light for people to understand at the ground level. You know, we kind of pride ourselves on having a space where we're going to use the big words. We ain't going to run away from them, but we're going to break them down at the ground level so you can be like, okay, that's what colonialism meant. You know, what is a colony? All a colony is, you know, just somebody, you know, it's a slave state. That's all it is. You know, to have these baseline, just very basic understandings to break them down is very key of how we liberate each other. And like you said, we give examples and we point them out, but then everybody is obligated to free somebody else. So, I mean, we try to Harriet Tubman our way through our popular or revolutionary education.
Right. Ain't no turning back on this trip.
They ain't gonna let you do that. No white supremacy be like, you know what? Be like, hold on. I know I was burning down shit in Minneapolis, but I quit now. I'm retired. They be like, you know what you did? I was gonna get you too. You can go on home. Hell no.
Get on out of here, Tyrone.
I swear. We appreciate the space. We appreciate that we're able to, you know, have the platform to be able to talk to people, and hopefully we doing justice. You know, hopefully we making the ancestors proud, and you know we're gonna continue to do it because, like we said, it needs to be done. You know, our minds. This is a process. This is a part of decolonizing our mind, being able to talk about this, to make it fresh, to keep it going, to make it cool, right? To even talk about this. So again, this is a process for us too. We appreciate even being here.
Right. I sure appreciate that, bro. How y'all want to close? Y'all want to close out with something deep, or I got some Huey if you want to close out.
Yeah. We could gang bang or not like that, or we could roast somebody like we done closed out in all type of ways. We was banging and roasting folks.
Crying.
We done just shut it off. Nah, I think you know.
But yeah, that clip though, if you do
I can't upload the clip. It won't upload. So I'm gonna have to read the joint. I'm gonna read what's this, Huey in defense of self-defense. I told you it's been a rough couple of days.
Nah, you gotta read. We're gonna post it. We're gonna post it for everybody. Again, we could definitely.
Bo hating on your voice. I wanted you to read to me and stuff. It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
And so
fuck all that, man.
Cut this shit down, man. Cut it all off now. Shit.
We finna leave.
Right, look, like
we gone.
Everybody, y'all have a good week. We'll see y'all next Thursday.
Love y'all, fam. Love y'all. See y'all next Thursday.
Peace.
Appreciate everybody for coming out. Thank y'all for coming to Black Revolutionary Education. I don't even know what we're doing. Kind of something around what we're doing. White supremacy next week. I forgot.
Yeah, one of them. But again, the whole month we just talking about are we free? You know, are we free?
Are we free? So we're gonna break it down. How we not free? What to do when you encounter a Negro saying that, and we're gonna break down some of these isms, ologies, and that people use. We're gonna use it, and we're gonna break them down to a level that we can understand and can use it to liberate. So, you know, of course, we can't use the master's tools, to break down the machinery. But you know, some tools are tools, and some tools can be used as weapons. So, we just trying to make you understood that some of them are both, and when to use what. So,
right.
All right. Any comments? Let me see what we got on comments before we go.
Santi. He always support and appreciate you.
Oh, she said we gotta have some Nelly Fuller for that then. Okay.
Definitely.
Nelly Fuller go in. So that's ain't. I'm just telling you, they ain't for the faint of heart. So
no,
he go right in. He say stuff that I be like, damn.
Yeah.
He's true. He is true, but damn.
Yeah.
But that's a hell of a book.
You be scared to ask him a question like, "Ooh, I'm
Well, how old are you?" He say some, huh? And what you doing in these 9 areas of your life?
Right.
What you asking me for? You need to be asking your goddamn self.
He said, unify.
It's like, bro, you told me that.
For what?
He said, you told me to ask you these. You're so stupid. I sent you these questions in the email, right. Damn, you have to do me like that. Hell no.
Nah, but we appreciate it, man. And we tap in with y'all next Thursday.
Yes.
Tap in. Love y'all family.
Peace.
The truth of the matter is that we are the builders of this movement. We are the ones in the streets risking our lives going against the system. We are the policy creators and ground shakers. We are the ones who organize the survival programs and mutual aid for our people. We are the ones doing the educating, revolutionizing, and transforming of the masses. We are the ones that give every hashtag meaning, purpose, and direction. And we are the ones who will lead us into a future where freedom is not only possible, but our reality. The time has come for us to evolve from where our lives matter to where our lives are truly free. Welcome to the Black Freedom Movement.
We know how this movement started. We know when it started to go left. And we know how to get it back on track by getting back to the basics. Grassroots, community, organizing. So let's get back to our blueprint for Black unity by doing it how Marcus Garvey did it, like how MOVE did it, and like how the Black Panther Party did it. By feeding, clothing, housing, healing, educating, training, mobilizing, and organizing the people towards one goal and one purpose, Black freedom. So if you want to connect with other like-minded Black people around the world and build a real Black liberation movement, go to the IBFA.org and tap in.
What if we had the power to bring every Black leader throughout history together in this day and age? What could we accomplish? What if we brought the radical mobilizing of Dr. King together with the unapologetically Black organizing of Malcolm X? What if we used the political ideas of Fannie Lou Hamer and put it with the successes of Julius Nyerere, Patrice Lumumba, and Maurice Bishop? What if we created an entirely new economic system based on the philosophies of Dr. Claude Anderson, Muammar Gaddafi, and Thomas Sankara? How many Black Wall Streets do you think would exist today? And what if we created an organization in the transformational ways that Ella Baker did, or even a movement like Winnie Mandela did to end apartheid? How strong of a people would we be if a movement or an organization like that existed today? Now, what if I told you that we've already started?
So one day we were thinking, how do we fund a Black freedom movement in a way that's both ambitious and empowering, yet transparent and accountable to the people? And then it hit us, the Black Freedom Fund, a fund that's for the people, by the people. The Black Freedom Fund will work like this. Each month, we will put out a plan for how and where the money will be spent. Then we, the people, will put money into the fund. Grassroots Black organizations and collectives will be able to apply for grants through video, forming a level of transparency and accountability. A committee of activists, organizers, and movement elders will be tasked with choosing the grantees and working with them to ensure that they succeed. Each grantee will give monthly, quarterly, and annual reports back to the community, showing exactly who, what, when, where, and why the money was spent, so we can operate in trust and keep building the movement our people deserve. Sounds dope, don't it? Yeah, we know. So let's launch it. Click the link, check out the vision, and put your coins in so we can continue that freedom work. The Black Freedom Fund is brought to you by the International Black Freedom Alliance. a grassroots organization started out of Ferguson, Missouri, who's dedicated to liberation of all Black people everywhere.